everybody. Welcome to another exciting evening live. And I'm so excited to have our guest coming up, Dr. Stephen O'Connor. And let me say hi to everybody. So basically, I'm stalling because I think there's some issues. Dr. O'Connor is in Ecuador, and there have been some delays with technical stuff. So I'm just going to say hi and let's see what happens. So it's all good in the hood. So here we go. Okay. Hi, Rhonda. Good to see you. Karen, hello. Joy, hello. Michelle, hello. Kate, good to see you. Phyllis, hello. Michelle, my belle. Priscilla, how's it going? Cindy, hello. Desiree, good to see you. Laura, hello. Cindy, still waiting for your daughter to email me. Hello, Cindy. Karen, I was trying to think what time zone. I know it gets all confusing. I'm confused. It's just crazy. Tina, good to see you. You made it. Was stuck in the rabbit hole of your funny TikToks. Thank you so much. Stacy Renee, good to see you, my friend. Thank you for being here. Angela, hello. Nita, so glad to catch us live tonight. I have lots of time when hanging out in my room. Okay, I hope you are feeling better. I really do hope you're feeling better. Rhonda, kind of feels like I've spent the whole day with y'all. There you go. Tatiana, hello. Thank you for being here. Kelly, hello. Rosalie, good to see you. Maria, hello. Dina, hello. Cheryl, how you doing, Cheryl? Dr. O'Connor, let me know if he needs help. I will. You might want to call him while I'm doing this. So there you go. Okay. Karen, hello. Denise, hello. Hi, Michelle. Good to see you. Susan, hello again. Heidi ho, Michelle. Kelly, love Soul Chat today. Soul Chat was fun today. If you guys have not done a Soul Chat, come join us for Soul Chat. It is so much fun to chat and to get going. Holly, hi Holly, and Maria, hello. Rody, Rada, hello, Rody. Gina, we are waiting for Dr. O'Connor to get connected. So this is going to be fun while we wait. Kate Williams, hello. And I saw his face, dun, 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 dun. And I'm a believer that the Ecuador connection is real. Okay. Cindy, you just shimmied yourself out, Steve. You just shimmied yourself out. Cindy, hello. You had me schwitzing here from my heaven. Christine, hello. Jessica, good evening. You're Cindy's daughter. Oh, awesome. Cindy's daughter, Jessica, email me for God's sake. Hi, Gail. Hi, Gigi. Good to see you, my friend. I need to get you on the live. Ronnie, hello. Priscilla, hello. Carla, you can call him. No, he's here. Nancy, Denise, be right back. No, you're all good. Pamela, hello. Michelle Moray. Every time you sell Michelle my bell, I look because my mother and uncle have saying that to me my whole life. I love that. Hey, Bree, Michelle, and Karen, you look marvelous. Thank you very much. Okay. And well, Jessica, because your mother keeps on telling me, my daughter's going to email me. Your daughter's going to email me. My daughter, I'm still waiting. Jennifer, Irenia. Hello. Driving home. Okay. For some reason, I have felt overwhelmed all day. Now, Steve has gone. He has left the building. So I'm a little nervous about this connection, but we're going to cross our fingers. It's going to be good. Okay. Your mom, wait, they chose your name on the way. Pick that name on the way to the hospital. That's funny. Oh my God, you're nuts. Cindy, you just realized this? You've been with me for how long? And you just realize this. Okay. Hi, Amy. All right, guys. This is exciting. It's a dramatic bringing in Dr. Stephen O'Connor. It's like a dramatic, ta-da! He's here. Okay. Thank you. I can see you and nobody else can. All right. Okay. Let's see. Well, guys, without further ado, it is my pleasure and an honor to have Dr. Stephen O'Connor here. Dr. Stephen O'Connor is the CSO, Chief Science Officer of Live Labs. Live Labs uses many different holistic type of things using hemp oil, using cannabis, and they have many wonderful products. I also have the honor of going to be with Dr. O'Connor next month in Ecuador. He has decided to work with people and create a retreat, and proceeds to from that retreat are going to help women who are trafficked in Ecuador. He is also going to start to have a medical center that people can come in, and if they have got $10, $5, $2, whatever it is, and get treated. So he is definitely kind-hearted man, smart, funny. He can out-talk me. And yes, you can. Don't shake your hand at me, mister. And without further ado, my friend, I'm so pleasure to have him in my life, and soul brother, Steve O'Connor. Hello, my friend. How are you?
I'm well, thanks. How you doing, Elias?
I am doing well. You had me um, sweating bullets there for a little bit. I'm like, I can solve all I know how, so it's all good. It's all good.
I was running down the avenues of downtown Quito to try
Mm,
and get back to the hotel in time. I had a unicorn on my back, and I was carrying a pizza and
good.
an American Girl doll on my back, along with the little unicorn,
Oh, cute.
little 5-year-old.
Little
So I went
5-year.
out to dinner with some friends out here. So
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, today we're talking about, and it's the new year, right? People are so into, and I've talked about resolutions, and health is always the one thing. And I think what you do with your programs and the way that you look at functional medicine, can you first of all tell people what a functional medical doctor is?
well, if you think about traditional allopathic, osteopathic medicine, your typical MD, DO, it's a pill for an ill. They don't look very deep at the what the root cause of the illness is. And what functional medicine does is it goes to the root cause, and it tries to find out if you have arthritis. Well, what's the cause of your arthritis? Well, if you talk to a traditional doc, they say, well, you're just getting old. You are genetically predispositioned to have arthritis. You played too many sports, did some damage. Well, a functional medicine doctor is going to look at a lot of things. First, they're going to start with the gut, find out if you have inflammation, find out if you're having digestive issues, etc., and try to heal it from the root cause versus just giving you a medicine to put a band-aid over it that never ultimately heals the problem.
Mhm.
So it's a very defined and relatively new way at looking at healthcare.
And would you say that, a functional medical doctor is also going to um, something like, you know, um, I'm trying to think of it. Beside, I'm getting like all these thoughts in my brain about nutrients, but also it's about the environment, like
Mhm.
what the environment does, and all this other stuff that people think of, like, oh, you know, I have allergies. Well, did we look at what's going on in the environment and all this other stuff? And it's interesting. It's interesting to me.
Yeah, absolutely. It is. It's a lot about the environment. People think that your genetics predetermine almost everything in your life, and that's not true at all. About 70% of what happens to you is not because of your genetics, it's because of something called epigenetic influences. And the exosome is everything from your lifestyle to the air to the water to the food you eat. All those things have influence on your health. So by looking into a person holistically, looking at their lifestyle, looking at what foods they eat, any supplements they take, where they're living. Because if you live in a very wet area, and you have a high potential for having mold toxicity. If you're eating foods that are grown in soils that are not well cared for, you can have heavy metal toxicity. If you're eating foods that have been treated with Roundup, herbicides, pesticides, fungicides, all those create a toxic load on your system and create everything from cancer to early death to autoimmune function problems. It poisons your biome, which is the bacteria that line your intestines, which determine literally whether you're going to have a healthy life or not.
True.
Very complex.
I'm looking at that. So guys, this is Dr. Stephen O'Connor's website right here. Thanks, Priscilla. And Karen says, would that be similar to an internal doctor?
Internal medicine is pretty much the same old. They're just physicians that look directly at diseases and conditions of adults. So no, internal medicine is not the same. Functional medicine is very different.
And Carla says, how do I find a doctor like you around a rural area where I live?
You go to a site called IFM, India Foxtrot Mike.com. And that's the Institute of Functional Medicine. You plug in your zip code and they will show you people who are certified and listed in your area. A lot of this can be done virtually. So that's what's, if there was one good thing that came out of the pandemic, it was that virtual medicine evolved to a different level. And so a lot of this can be done virtually. You can give your doctor some biometric data, like you could get a portable blood pressure cuff and you can tell them what your blood pressure is. You can get a pulse oximeter, which will measure the oxygen and the heart rate. So there's lots of things that you can contribute so you don't even need a direct physical exam. Sometimes you can do it with a video. You can show if you have a rash or a lesion, take the camera, put it on there. There are some things that are necessary for face-to-face, but you can get around some of that in many meaningful ways.
And it's good information, you guys. Really, really good information. Andrea, does the dirty dozen change?
No, the dirty dozen. It seems to have been pretty stagnant for a number of years. And what she means by the dirty dozen, if I'm not mistaken, is the dirty dozen foods. And those are foods that are highest in pesticides, residual bacteria, things of that sort, that especially fruits. A lot of fruits that you eat are contaminated with all sorts of nasty things. So having an organic diet is really important. If you don't have an organic diet, then make sure that you wash your fruits and vegetables very well. And and it requires getting some of those products out there that are specifically made for fruit and vegetable washing. Those are very critical if you're not able to manage an organic diet.
So true. So because it can get really pricey. Pamela's cute. She's like, guess there was some Irish in there. The website title confirmed it. What gave it away? The old Connor? I would the O
or sláinte.
Sláinte. Right.
Sláinte means health.
Melissa says, how come all doctors aren't functional doctors?
Because they're not as smart as me. No,
There's
I'm teasing. No, actually, it's really interesting because starting in 1913, there was a commercialization and a kind of a just medicine got waylaid, and
yes.
So the commercial, the big pharmaceutical interests, big industry, big money, big politics got involved in healthcare, and it's just gone down since then. And there's a lot of money to be made in pharmaceuticals. There's not a lot of money to be made in healthy supplements, lifestyle changes, natural whole foods, et cetera. It's not profitable. So you're not going to change an industry that spends $3 trillion a year and dismiss that. It just doesn't happen.
So true.
It's been propagandized. When you go to medical school, it's basically a very expensive 4 years of being brainwashed by some big industry interests. Sad, but that's the reality.
And Serena says, hi, Lisa. Lisa says hello to you. Serena says, how do I get my HMO to allow me to see a functional medical doctor?
At the tip of a gun.
The tip of a gun. That always works really well. Just walk in and just go, hi.
You know, yeah, because that's literally what it takes. I'm being facetious, but there just isn't a lot of interest in preventative care because it doesn't make money. They want you sick. They want you dependent on their medications. They want you dependent on their commercial interest. It's huge money, and they don't. The industry doesn't make money if you're healthy.
Right. So true. So true. There's the website again. A couple people are asking about what is the best way to wash the vegetables. Somebody says they do it with. Andrea says non-organic. I use vinegar and water. I mean, that would work.
Yeah, that works, but you have to also have some form of a solvent, like a soap, something that takes the waxy, oily constituency off the vegetables and the fruits, because a lot of the products that they have are actually oil-based, petroleum-based. So right. Not only are you getting these wonderful toxins, but you're getting carcinogens in the form of hydrocarbons that are just masking the good taste of your food.
Horrible.
But there's a really cool, and I wonder if Michelle's on, because if Michelle's on, we got this little disc, and what it does is it uses electricity, and it oxidizes the contaminants off your fruits and vegetables. So you submerge it in the water, and you turn it on, and then you put your fruits and vegetables in, and after about 10 minutes, it cleans it to 99%, and it's phenomenal. I wish I knew what it was called. I brought one down to Ecuador for me.
I'm texting her just in case Michelle, are you on here? If you are, let me know. She's at the grocery store. She can't get one. She's asked if you know the product for cleaning the yuck out of the veggies. Okay, there we go. So she's at the grocery store, just so you know. So Lisa says, and guys, Lisa Wilson will be on my live one of these days. She's on TikTok. She's out of the broom closet on TikTok. She's the one that will talk all about SEO things and like words to use and hashtags. And she's a wonderful marketing person, and we'll have her on a live soon. Lisa wants to know, do you utilize muscle testing in functional medicine?
Absolutely, because it's a modality that's very simple. It's something that can be tested even virtually. So yeah, actually, and trust me, I was not always of the functional medicine bend. I ate I drank the Kool-Aid for 30 some years in traditional medicine, and it took me a while to get there. But I found out that there are things like, if you want to test, like Elias is really good at this. He'll send you his special sprays, and you can test which one, just by holding them, you can tell what your body needs. And muscle testing is very similar to that. It's very, it uses the genius of the body. It doesn't take for granted how incredibly intricate and elaborate and beautiful and perfect our human bodies are. So by utilizing that energetic, by utilizing that intelligence, we can do an awful lot to change the trajectory of our health.
Awesome. Love that. Love that. I just got a message from Michelle. She doesn't know the name of it, but there's many. She just said, just like you did, there's many products out there. Guys, go to Whole Paychecks. I'm sorry, go to Whole whoops, go to Whole Foods, and they have, or Trader Joe. I know that they have those things. Those of you that are
Fruit
on
and
the
vegetable washes, yeah,
fruit vegetable wash. Okay. Let us look. Serena was trying to be funny. I'm from Texas. I understand the assignment. When you about HMO, that's cute. She said, just kidding. Okay. What food supplements do you recommend for regrowing bone after surgery injury?
Wow. Most traditional doctors will tell you calcium. But if you take calcium alone, you're actually losing calcium. You're going to pull calcium from your bones because the body recognizes that and says, oh, I've got too much circulating calcium. It throws off the hormone balances that you need. So you need 25 hydroxy vitamin D. You need boron. You need selenium. You need some very specific, in micro dosing, micro amounts of these nutrients and these minerals in order to properly absorb calcium. Mm-hmm. So what I would use is like first antioxidants. You want to, because after surgery, it's a stress to the body. So you're going to have a lot of free radicals. So you want to use a really good antioxidant like vitamin C's, vitamin E, glutathione, something of that sort. Eat a lot of pomegranates if you want to do it more naturally. A lot of citrus fruits are really good, blueberries, etc. But then you want to get some. If there's a really good thing called OsteoFX by a company called I'm having a mind blank. Just go on Joel Wallach, Joel Wallach. Just do a Google search for Joel Wallach. It'll come up to his, I think it's longevity or life Vantage or something like that. But anyways, there's a good product called OsteoFX, and it has those trace and ultra trace minerals as well as the other ingredients that you need for healthy bone and tissue growth. So that's the best way that it's not necessarily cheap, but you don't have to use it lifelong.
And this is what Michelle sent. Aqua
Yes. Aquapure. It's such a cool little device. I'm such a tech geek that, I could probably have paid a little bit less and just got the wash, but this one was too cool to pass up.
Of course. Ronnie has a question. She wants to know any tips on slowing down advanced RA. I'm 45 and visibly crippling in months.
Okay, this is going to be tough love here. If you're not gluten-free, you have to be gluten-free. If you're not dairy-free, you almost have to be dairy-free. You need to find a functional medicine doctor that'll order something called a Cyrex 3 and a Cyrex 4 panel on you, which will tell you food allergies, because almost all RA, it's not genetic like they tell you. You don't need those really expensive and dangerous immune modulators that they're hawking on television. What you need to do is you need to get your immune system calmed down. And if you're eating pro-inflammatory foods, it can really just destroy your body. So people with rheumatoid arthritis have had unbelievable results with just changing their nutrition, and also by working on their gut bacteria, getting healthy gut bacteria, getting back to to the natural processes that create an immune system that is strong but not overactive.
That's a great thing. So, and this is something that you guys, I talked about before we had Steve on. Before we talked about, I said Steve's going to talk about gut health, and that's really, really almost all autoimmune, and everything's about anti-inflammatory. Let me tell you, prior to the wedding, being really good, not doing much gluten, not doing hardly any dairy, and then Christmas came. It's like, so, and heartburn started again. I felt, like I'm like this, napping again at a crazy times. So our food, what we put in, it's our fuel of our body. And there's a lot of crap out there, unfortunately. Gina wants to know, oh, well, first of all, Michelle says, can a functional doctor address mental health issues?
Absolutely. Again, mental health issues begin oftentimes in the gut. If you understand that 70 to 90% of all the serotonin in your body, which serotonin is this compound, this thing that your body creates, and actually the bacteria in your gut create the serotonin. That circulates from the gut to your brain. The serotonin is what helps you with mood regulation and having a balanced mood. That's why you take serotonin uptake inhibitors or reuptake inhibitors. Those things keep the body from breaking down serotonin, so your serotonin levels will rise. Well, if you just take care of your gut, if you just keep those inflammatory foods out of your system, you're going to have improved gut health. Improved mood along with your gut health. And then by managing we found out scientifically that by transplanting certain bacteria into your gut can change the way that your mood is. So they can take the bacteria out of a mouse, a healthy mouse, and put it into a mouse that has very low serotonin levels, very low bacteria that create that normal mood, and that depressed mouse will get better. They can take the bacteria out of the depressed mouse and put it in the normal mouse, and the normal mouse will show signs of severe depression. It's crazy. Who'd ever think it? But if you think that out of every 100 cells in your body, 99 are not your own. 99 are bacteria, viruses, or yeast. And if you don't have that balance, if you don't have the proper bacteria in your gut, you are going to have health problems. You're going to die prematurely. You're going to have cardiovascular disease, early onset dementia, all sorts of bad juju.
And it's funny because, getting personal, y'all, John's stomach constantly rumbles. It constantly is gurgling. And I'm like, we got to go back to that other diet because it wasn't as bad. And I'm like, it's constantly, I'm like, okay. Either you're like, we're talking like Alien 4 happening. But it's just interesting. Now, Andrea has a question. Thanks, Andrea, because I would have gone on a tangent on that. A question about probiotics, please. Are shelf stable as good as the ones in the fridge now?
Okay, first off, I'm going to give Elias a word that he's going to absolutely love. So when John's stomach goes like that, you can say, John, I hear borborygmi. That's what the scientific term for noises in the gut. Borborygmi.
Borborygmi. Okay, because I remember that, peristalsis is the wave-like motion.
Peristalsis, yes.
That helps. I remember that from massage school, and I taught it. So there you go. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, to answer that question, Andrea, most probiotics on the market are trash. 90% are trash. And I'll tell you the reason why. When you market a probiotic, all you have to do is you just have to say how many cultures, how many bacterial cultures can grow prior to processing, what you put into the product. Once you heat that product, if it gets heated over 106, 107 degrees, basically you're killing the bacteria. Now, there are spore forms, and these are very special types of bacteria that form a spore. Now, some of those spores are very resilient to digestive enzymes, digestive acids, temperature, heat, etc. So if they're refrigerated, if they require you to refrigerate them, those are weak. If they can't stand up to natural temperatures, what are they going to do when you take them into your gut? Your body temperature is going to kill them.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a really good probiotic out there, and it's called Seed, SEED.com. So if you go to seed.com, the capsule is double encapsulated. They use a very resistant form of bacteria. They use 26 different species, which are ideally presented for health in normal humans. So they put them in a double capsulation. So the first capsule helps it bypass the digestion in the stomach, and the second capsule helps it make it to the first, second, and third parts of the digestive system, the small intestine, first, second, third parts of the small intestine, then it actually can get to the colon. So Seed is an incredibly well managed, well thought of, and well processed probiotic. It's the only one that I recommend to people. It's the only one that I use. As a matter of fact, I could probably grab mine right here because it's right next to me.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Live Labs doesn't have anything that is
not yet. No,
not yet.
Not yet. But
and I have to go ahead. Sorry.
We don't want to create something where if there's a product out there that's amazing, why recreate it?
Right.
Let's spread the wealth.
And this, I have to tell you guys, from Live Labs is great. This is hemp balm, and Steve gave this to me, and it's awesome. What are those?
Hemp gummies. Yes, with ashwagandha. Yes, it's got ashwagandha. It also has CBD and CBG, and CBG is a feel-good isolate of CBD, and then it's got L-theanine in it, which is very good for relaxation and stress reduction.
I love that.
So, and it tastes great.
And then Live Lab also does stuff for pets, you guys, too. Steve gave me this for the dogs because when there is a little bit of issues with the, I've given Willow this right before the fireworks. That helped a little bit. So this was good. So we're going to talk about Live Labs in a second. We're going to talk about some programs that Steve does as well. So give me a second. Doesn't sugar reduction or elimination help too?
Yeah. Absolutely. And I'm going to tell you something. If you do order the gummies, what I do is I wash the sugar coating off the gummies, because in pre-marketing testing, people wanted the sugary taste. Well, and I wish I could get them to take the sugar off it, but what I do is I just take the sugar coating and it's just sprinkled onto the gummy, and I just kind of clean that off, and then I take it without the sugar. So, but yes, absolutely, sugar is horrid. Mm-hmm. Excess sugar it will kill you. There's something called glycosylation, and what that is if you think of creme brulee comes with, they take granular sugar and they sprinkle it onto the custard topping, and then they take a torch and they caramelize it, and it's hard. Well, that same thing occurs with excess sugars in your body overlying your cells. So,
Kim says, what are your we got two good questions, and I want to go on to we'll do rapid round. What do you see? We always say we have a topic and everybody's like, we just want to know stuff. So that's what I was calling this, creating health awareness. So there we go. What are your thoughts about fibromyalgia?
Yes, I have thoughts about it, but again, is a lifestyle and a nutritional problem. It really is. It's combination lack of sleep. Now, I'm going to also say that if you're in the middle of having a fibromyalgic attack, or if you have chronic fibromyalgia, it's very difficult to break that cycle, because movement is very important. Sleep is very important. Proper food and nutrition is very important. But if you don't feel well enough to get up and move, it's going to be really hard for you to move. And some people just literally cannot move. If you are in a lot of discomfort and pain, it's almost impossible to sleep well. So the thing where you can interrupt the cycle with fibromyalgia is you can interrupt it with proper nutrition, because it's an autoimmune disorder. Again, it's due to chronic inflammation. Chronic inflammation is the root cause of 90% of all disease in humans. So fibromyalgia is very difficult, but if you get a good functional medicine practitioner, and I notice I didn't say doctor, because you don't have to be a doctor to be a functional medicine. You could be a nurse practitioner, PA, chiropractor, etc. If you get a good one, they can change your world. They can change your life. Your sleep is going to get better. You're going to feel better. And what we found, there was a really interesting study that was done. They took people and they measured people with fibromyalgia, their pain tolerance, and they measured normal controls, people who didn't have fibromyalgia. And they put a little pressure screw device that you put your thumb in, and they dialed increasing pressure onto your thumbnail. And people with fibromyalgia had half the tolerance for discomfort at half the pressure than normal controls. So we do know that, people say, a lot of my contemporaries in traditional medicine say fibromyalgia is, it's in your head.
Right.
But it's not, because we can measure consistently people that have fibromyalgia have a decreased sensitivity or a decreased tolerance to pain. And if you go, like I said, to a good practitioner of functional medicine, they can really get you on the right track through nutritional supplementation, diet, exercise. And, I talk about pillars of health. And you don't have to nail all 5 or 7 pillars of health, depending on, what I talk about. You don't have to do all of them at once. Just start with one pillar. And the pillars all overlap. So when you improve one pillar, you find out that the other pillar of health might improve. So one of the pillars might be meditation, mental health, and that overlaps with sleep, and that overlaps with nutrition and supplementation. So by taking one baby step, don't feel like you have to change your entire life all at once. There are very few people I know that can make that sort of radical change. But just start bit by bit, baby steps. You eat the elephant one bite at a time. Not that I advocate eating elephant, but just remember that all these suggestions that I'm telling you, get off gluten. Gluten is one of those things that's all or none. It's either you're pregnant or you're not. So gluten has to be, Elias, complete without Elias, cheating Elias. So it's very important.
Mute button. Go ahead. Love you right back. Go ahead. Sorry.
So just make changes that are easy for you to do, and then gradually, after it takes 21 days to adopt a new habit. And if you can do it little by little with the guidance of someone like Elias, harping at you, he's really good as a coach, and he's really good to. He's not judgmental. No, I'm teasing. Uh-oh, the eyebrows. Oh no, please, not the eyebrows.
Not the Greek eyebrow. Yes.
No. But seriously, get a good practitioner, functional medicine practitioner, get a good personal coaching, and you can fundamentally change your life. And instead of living with the pain and the disability of fibromyalgia, you can fundamentally transform how you feel, how you think, how you move. and it's a life changer.
Irma is a fellow health practitioner. She's been a nurse for over 40 years. She is retired now, and she has ulcerative colitis for 20 plus years. What do you recommend? I have immunosuppressives.
Okay. Ulcerative colitis is a very difficult one because, again, it comes down to inflammation. It comes down oftentimes to diet. It comes down to environmental toxins. There is a genetic predisposition to it. So they want to put you on immune suppressant drugs. That's first and foremost. When you go to a GI specialist, they're happy to send you down a $17,000 a month immune modulator pathway instead of having you change your lifestyle, your foods, having you take probiotics. Uh, it's a very difficult thing to take care of. It's not something that I can easily, because there's different causes for the ulcerative colitis. So you have to actually do the detective work to find out what particular cause is the root of your problem. And another problem is you're often on intermittent steroids, which cause lots of problems. You're on immune modulators, which cause lots of problems, increase your risk of cancer, increase your risk of serious infections, et cetera. Just listen to, hi, take Humira. And then you have the guy that speaks really fast at the end that tells you all the bad things that are going to happen to you. Don't take those lightly, because those bad things happen. And they happen to a lot of people. But find a good functional medicine doc, have them go through the diagnostic workup, find out what your triggers are for your UC, and make a change. And it's difficult. It's not easy to make lifestyle changes, but it can be done. Again, you eat the elephant one bite at a time.
Right. Somebody asked, Heather Scripture has to have is CBD THC free?
Some is. Some of the CBD, we have a product called 2500, which is a full spectrum, which has 0.3 milligram percent or less of THC. Actually, our product has 0.27 milligram percent, because we always ensure that our products are within federal guidelines. We do have another product that you can use. It's HydroPro, which is THC free, and it's to 2 decimal points guaranteed free of THC. We have another product called Platinum. Platinum is THC free. We have the gels, hydrogels, which are little gel caps that have curcumin in them, which is a great anti-inflammatory. Those are very easy to swallow, easy to take, easy to bring with you anywhere you go. Those are THC free. So yes, we do have THC free products. Not all CBD that's marked THC free is free of THC. And when they did a study, they looked at around 90 different premium products of CBD products, and they tested them. And more than 78%, I think 78 and some change percent of those products either didn't have CBD in them, they either had too much THC, they didn't have the THC if they said that they did. So it's caveat emptor. It's the buyer beware. You have to know where your product is coming from. And I could go into some detail about the toxins that are actually accumulated by the hemp plant. So it's very important you know where the hemp has been grown, because unless that company is very diligent about removing fungicides, bacteria, mycotoxins, etc., you're actually using something to make you better, and it's going to make you worse potentially.
So guys, you have to realize that StreamYard, when I scroll, it doesn't show all the comments. I have to scroll down, scroll back up. That's why you're seeing me doing this stuff. So before we answer this question, I wanted to ask you have a program that you're doing for people to be part of Live Labs, correct?
Yeah, we Live Labs is very good. We have a lot of educational information on our website. So uh, usually, usually, if you talk to one of the brand partners, they can give you a lot of guidance on it, because most of the brand partners have probably taken my CBD course. I have a CBD certification course which I produce with Live Labs, and it gives you a ton of information and answers a lot of these questions. So yeah, we do have programs that help. Um, you can reach out to Elias if you have specific questions, and I can hopefully answer those questions. Or you can go to the Live Labs site and contact somebody, or just go to the site and look at the educational materials and the information that we have on the site.
Or you can go to admin@eliaspatras.com, and Priscilla will go ahead and forward those questions as well, because with the retreats coming up, it's gonna
Yeah.
be a little bit crazy. Um, Victoria says, I have a drug test about every 3 months. Concerned about failing test. Are there products from Live Lab that I can use for my pain?
Yes and no. And yes, we have products that you can use from Live Labs that will help your discomfort and pain. The no part is, it depends on what the drug test is, because just like everything else, most companies try to cut corners. So they'll use the cheapest drug testing that they can find. And when they use the cheap ones, sometimes the tests are very sensitive, meaning that they're very good at picking up whatever drug they're wanting to test, but they're not specific. So if you eat, potentially, if you eat a muffin with
Poppy seeds.
certain poppy seeds, sometimes caraway seeds, things like that, they can test positive for opioids if it's a very sensitive test. And a lot of these companies will use cheap tests. And if you're taking CBD and THC are basically the same family of compounds. So they may look alike to that test. So if it's a very specific test, it will not register. Our products will not register on a drug test. But unless I know exactly what test they use, I can't tell you that. This is one of those questions that's very difficult, because there are a lot of people out there that they work for companies that have a one and done. So if you test positive without, they'll fire you without question. And that's, to my mind, that's ethically and fundamentally wrong, because people should be allowed to take CBD. THC, even at 0.3 milligram percent, has absolutely no psychotropic effect, meaning that it doesn't affect your mentation, doesn't affect you. You won't hallucinate, you won't get high. And it's sad, because there are a lot of people out there afraid to take it because they may test positive when they could really benefit from it.
Sheila wants, well, real quick. Victoria said she's on prescription opioids. I'm looking for a different option. Awesome. Sheila says, what's the difference between functional and holistic?
Okay, holistic is a different. They're very similar in many ways, but holistic medicine generally doesn't treat with prescription medicines as a bridge to therapy or treatment. So a functional medicine physician, PA, nurse practitioner, someone who has a license to prescribe medication, can actually use pharmaceuticals to help bridge your situation until they can clean out your system and find the root cause. And then they go into a holistic mode, because that's obviously the ideal. So that's kind of the difference between functional medicine and holistic. Now, those functional medicine practitioners that don't have the ability, licensure to prescribe medications, they're basically working as a holistic practitioner. There are some philosophic differences, but how many angels dance on the tip of a pin?
Right.
Now, Elias can tell you that answer.
What? Hang on. Go ahead. I'm getting three different things. Go ahead again.
How many angels can dance on the tip of a pin? So
Millions.
see, there you have it.
There you go. Rhonda says not the eyebrow. And then Rhoda, Rudy, Rada, Rhonda, Riala, Rahala, Sybil says, I love him calling Elias out like Elias does to us. You're cute. Don't think I won't forget that statement. Okay. You know I love you.
This is the best Facebook Live in the country. So you guys are really blessed to know Elias, and so am I. But that doesn't keep me from calling him out too.
Exactly. Same here. Cindy says he's really good at kicking ass. This is true. So's Steve. My intention is not to believe in fibromyalgia. Love that. Lisa has lupus. I will look into seed. Thank you. Irma says, I understand. Amen to all this info. My entire life was transformed through lifestyle changes after diagnosis. Love that. Functional medicine is the naturopathy. I'm in Canada. Love it. Love it. Does turmeric work for inflammation?
Absolutely. The active ingredient in turmeric is curcumin, which is one of the ingredients that we have in our Hemp Pro, which are our soft gel products. But yes, it is an excellent. It's been known as a spice in Ayurvedic medicine for thousands of years. So, anything that lasts thousands of years has to have some guts behind it, because if it didn't, it would be forgotten and fallen off the radar of people who use it. So to me, there are thousands of articles that show turmeric is anti-cancer, it's anti-inflammatory, it's a mediator, cell signaler, it's a natural ingredient that changes sometimes the expression of certain genetic conditions in the genome. So it does some amazing things, and it's simple and it's everywhere and it's easy to cook with. So there's lots of ways you can get it into your diet.
Priscilla says, Michelle O'Connor. Hello, Michelle. Thanks for dropping on. Olga says, what are your thoughts on rare chromosome disorders that severely affect a person's developmental process? That's a good one.
Yeah, that's one of those where you can never make 100% statement. Even though I said that 70% of genetic expression is due to the exposome, which are outside triggers, 30% can be triggered just by your genetics. And interestingly, we find that genetic disorders can be transmitted generations behind. So ancestral trauma, ancestral issues can affect the genome that's transmitted maternally generations behind, 4 generations, possibly even as many as 7 generations. They can clearly see that sort of, especially maternal linkage. So yeah, there are things out there that, rare chromosome disorders are things that occur. Thankfully, there's a method called CRISPR, and I don't know if you're all familiar with what CRISPR is, but CRISPR is a technique. It won the Nobel Peace Prize for I think biochemistry. I can't remember exactly its criteria, but CRISPR is a way that you can utilize inexpensively. You can transmit and you can replace pieces of the genome very precisely and potentially change the genetic expression of disease. So there's a very possible way that using CRISPR could wipe out something like sickle cell anemia. There are ways that you might be able to mitigate the problems of malaria. But it's a double-edged sword, because and this is scary. This is absolutely frightening. There was a grad student who found a way to use a CRISPR to inoculate bacteria to break down organic material like plant material, root material, and make alcohol from it. Well, it was interesting. They thought that this was really cool because if you have all this biomass and you inoculate it with this bacteria, you can create a usable substance like alcohol that you can utilize as a fuel. Well, he was 2 weeks away from allowing that to go into the environment. And he came into the lab after a weekend off, and all the plants were dead. And what it did is it had absolutely no way of delineating what's a good plant, what's a bad plant, et cetera. And basically, if that bacteria, that CRISPR modified bacteria, had gotten out into our world, potentially every terrestrial plant on the planet would have died, which would have meant the end of us all. So it has a tremendous potential to heal, but it also, you have to be so incredibly careful about something like this technology that you have to really think it out. You have to be very diligent about how it's used.
That's why I don't trust the CRISPR in my refrigerator. Sorry, I knew you would appreciate that. Sorry, I know. See, it doesn't work as well with you. Yet we
No,
have
it doesn't.
in the eyebrows just a little bit, just a little bit.
I'll get my pencil.
Thank you. So Michelle says, have Steve give them his link. And Priscilla says, Michelle O'Connor, which link? And then Michelle says, his link to his Live Lab so they can work with him. Michelle O'Connor, okay, oh yes, I will when they email me. Oh, don't you love this? Here we are. We are all family. So let's see. Sandy G, real quick, and then I want to talk about, we're going to go over 10 minutes, guys, just so you know. Is there anything safe to take for inflammation while on Eliquis blood thinner?
Yeah, absolutely. You can use curcumin. You can use vitamin D's. You can use very specific forms of vitamin E that you can use for that. You can even use judicious amounts of CBD. You just have to be very careful to spread out when you take your CBD and when you take your Eliquis. As long as you have normal liver function and you spread it out by, say, 3-4 hours, your liver enzymes will recover so that you don't impact the way that the Eliquis is metabolized. So yeah, there's lots of ways. But again, I go to the root cause. Make sure that you're on an anti-inflammatory diet. Make sure that you utilize the skills of a functional medicine practitioner. And a lot of that sort of situation can be mitigated just by doing lifestyle changes, nutritional changes, and having intention in what you do. Just eating with intention can change the way that the bacteria digest and absorb your nutrients. So,
which is
sure,
it's key, guys. It really is key.
By the way, Elias, the next time I'm on, if you invite me, I'm going to get Groucho Marx eyebrows, and I'm going to paste them.
When I see you and I'm staying at your place, I've already got you covered. I've already
just like that the commercial with on the plane for, where the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yes, right.
Coach, it happened again.
Right. Well, yeah.
We're going to get to the bottom of that.
It's funny. I think it's funny. Let me just click out of this.
I'll sleep with one eye open.
If somebody wants to work with you, what would they? Are you taking people that you want to work with? Let's put it that way. I know you've got a lot going on with the retreat center. I'm just, because someone's going to ask, so I wanna go ahead and you'll sit with it.
Yeah. That's been a very difficult thing, because I would rather be an educator than a primary care practitioner.
Got it.
And it has nothing to do with it. I do help people piece by piece sometimes, nothing specific. So I haven't set up a practice. There's a lot of legalities because I have a license in Indiana. So if you're outside Indiana, technically I can't prescribe anything. And then I might as well just be a health and wellness coach. And I don't mean that facetiously. I mean that reality, because health and wellness coaching, I'm not I'm not confined by the same rules that you have by being a practitioner with a medical license to
Right.
diagnose, treat, and prescribe.
Right.
So that long answer is not yet,
We're working on
but
it.
there are other ways around it. Yeah.
Right. Because Serena, I knew she was. I'm asking, she says.
Yeah. No, it's, I do a lot of, and Elias knows this. I do help people in need.
Right.
And
That's your core. That's who you are. That
yeah,
is who you
I don't have a mechanism to charge, so I don't charge. I don't have a mechanism to maintain an electronic medical record, so I don't usually keep a lot of notes. I just keep them in my head. But there are some people. If you're really in need, if you're suffering, I'm not going to walk away from a human that's in that sort of situation where they're suffering.
Right.
So maybe talk to Priscilla, and
Yeah.
maybe I can just talk to you for 15 or 20 minutes on a Zoom call.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And
or come to.
Serena's funny because she says, "Oh, good, I'm in Indiana." She's not.
Okay.
Serena's her husband. Oh my God, Serena, you've got to send. Steve. I don't know how we get it to Ecuador, but when you're back in the States, you've got it. Her husband is straight from Italy, and he's the one that I was kidding on a live, and I'm like, well, sort of kidding. I'm like, oh my God, your husband makes gelato. Wouldn't it be great to take pumpkin and hot fudge and mush it together for gelato? On my birthday, she delivered to this place over here. She delivered 2 quarts of pumpkin fudge gelato that her husband made, then berry gelato, then Italian cream gelato, then, which I only had 2 scoops, people. My husband ate the whole rest. And then also peppermint gelato, candy cane gelato, and Oreo.
Oh, did I forget to mention that I take payment in gelato?
You do. You take payment.
Yes. It's
and
but
he makes
Serena,
limoncello.
Yeah, well, Michelle can tell you a funny story about limoncello and me in Italy one time. I thought it was lemonade, and so I'm in the back of this old Lada type beat up car, which had carbon monoxide leaking into the back of the car, and the 70-plus-year-old driver was like, gas brake. And then, of course, he was crooning. So he was singing all the old crooner songs. And I'm in the back going, I'm half wasted on just a couple little sips of gelato. And I'm.
Yeah. Oh, God. No.
So.
Serena says we trade in gelato and limoncello. Just
okay. Serena, I'm gonna put this to you. Come down to Ecuador for one of our programs, and we can sit and talk we can sit by the fire, and we can have long conversations about how we can help you.
Because there are 4 spots left for the Ecuadorian trip at the end of March, and I do plan on doing another Ecuadorian trip. Another Ecuadorian trip, and I want to do something a little bit different. Also I know Gina and I are doing it. I want to bring another co-facilitator. I want to do some individual stuffs. So I want to do that. Look at Michelle. She's like limoncello. She's laughing. And Mandy is our helping out with the travel. She said, I will be at the next one for sure.
Yeah, okay. It will. These programs that we're helping with, they will transform your life. There was not a person that's come down that hasn't said that it fundamentally transformed their life, and that's not hyperbole. That's reality. So they're not expensive. When you think about what you spend just in useless purchases, you could transform your life, and you also get access to me because I love to talk about this stuff. I love to help people. That's my mojo. and anybody who's a friend of Elias is going to be a lifelong friend of mine, and he knows that I'm being genuine about that.
Yes.
I mean that. I'm not into golf courses and fast cars and big houses. I'm just in right now. I've changed my whole life. I've found a path that leads me to be of help to humanity, and whatever process I can do that, I would be happy to. So please come down to Ecuador.
And you had such a great talk with, and we'll have her on, you guys. You had such a great talk with Tramika at the wedding, at the fire. That was really great. That was
yeah. It's all good.
And thank you, Lisa says. And guys, please check out Priscilla. Can you put up the website one more time? And if you want to go to Live Labs and check out that as well, the retreat there are 4 spots left, guys, for Ecuador. And I'm telling you, honestly, truly, I spent $2,700 when I went to the retreat for Celebrate Your Life. And that was not including airfare. It was not including hotel. It did include the food. But here you have your lodging, your food, and the retreat that we're doing, plus the flute making workshop, plus the
Dream catchers.
Dreamcatcher workshop. We're going to go shopping one day in the Shaman's Market area. We're going to do a sweat lodge. We're going to do two ceremonies with plant medicine. You can or cannot, it's totally up to you. And then we're also going to do some hiking as well. And we also have a couple very amazing ceremonies that are going to be indigenous based, but also we're going to do something with the labyrinth. We're going to do 2 labyrinth walks that we have. So it is so important. Andrea says, you have the best peeps on the lives. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. And that's what I want to do, guys. Why do you think I'm on TikTok so much? I want to bring the education piece over here because we can take our time. We can talk and we can bring forth everything. Thank you, Priscilla. Also, I want you guys to know that also another wonderful person, we're going to talk about creating your own channel. Lisa Nolan Shalowski will be with us next Saturday at this time. Please join us. And we are going to have the following weekend on the 28th, we're going to have Ginger Perrick, Healing Heart Medium. She'll be on. And Ginger and I are going to officially announce the Aspects of Love retreat that's going to happen in Oregon. And I'm so excited because we are going to do a drum making. We just got to figure that out. Not ayahuasca this time. It is available with Steve's program, but Gene and I were talking about it. We're not doing ayahuasca. We'll be doing San Pedro. I've never done plant medicine before. I am super sensitive to all of that. So a friend of mine is more sensitive than I am, and I agreed to go ahead. Gene has led retreats in Peru. And remember, guys, we are going to do a retreat in Greece in the following year. So there's a lot coming up. This is the year, guys. 2023 is the year. Steve has bought this beautiful home, has created a program in Ecuador. I mean, these are all the starts. 2023 is the start for, it's the start for opening up to your truest authentic self. And I just am super, super excited. I want to thank you so much for being here. I know that it's 2 hours ahead, and you are just a cornucopia of information, and you do talk more than I do. And it is so great to have you here. I appreciate your honesty, your integrity, and thank you everyone for being so open. People are saying thank you. So check out check out, Nita says it's so informative. If I missed your question, please know it wasn't deliberate. There's just so much happening. And I'll tell you this, Steve will come back in April. April, you guys, my theme for April is all about health. So we're going to have Karen Radin come on, who's a nutritionist and dietitian. We're going to have Steve back on. I'm going to have 2 more health people come on. And I don't know, maybe we'll have Steve come on twice in that month. All depends on what's happening because there's so much to talk about. All right, guys, people are saying thank you. So interesting. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, everyone. What is tomorrow? Tomorrow is Sunday. Tomorrow, 7:30 a. Wait, am I doing? Wait, I have to look now. What is no. So 7. Well, I'm gonna do it anyway. Don't think I didn't see that. I have great 7:30. I have excellent peripheral. It's because I've got the Walgreens glasses on.
You're like my mother.
Yes,
Eyes in the back of her head.
Trust me. Oh, my mom had them too. Yes, thank you. But I am going to do guided meditation tomorrow, 7:30 a.m. Pacific time on TikTok. There will also be guided meditation 7 p.m. on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram tomorrow night Pacific time. And then TikTok tomorrow is at 3. All right. Thank you guys always. And Mandy, thank you for the great work that you're doing for this trip. And guys, again, if you're interested, it is 2707 for the retreat in Ecuador. That's 7 nights in Ecuador. We are also doing a Pachamanca, which is they take the food, they wrap it in banana leaves, and they put it in the ground, and it cooks and it smokes and it steams and it. I'm so excited. Passport in hand. I'm so excited, and I just found a website. I talked it over with Michelle. I'm gonna buy Merrell's hiking boots. Yeah. So water, because I don't hike, y'all. This Greek ass is not. Listen, my people climbed enough mountains. Trust me, picking the olives. So, all right, everybody. From my heart to yours, thank you. Remember, we are here to connect, and when we connect, we educate, and when we educate, we grow. Thank you all. Thank you, Steve. Hold that thought, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Be well. Thanks, everybody.